What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Chinnist. Today is January 10th, Thursday night, the day after New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 34 with 23 different titles. I put up my Midtown order on the left-hand side as well. Sorry about the late post, guys. I went to a happy hour last night that lasted way longer than I anticipated. You know, sometimes they do it, every now and again. So starting off on the DC side of things, we have Young Justice. So I passed up on a couple of cover A's, just grabbing other things yesterday, man. So this was actually cover D. This was Impulse cover. Grabbed a few of the Yasmin Putri. This is cover E. So this was pretty hot because it's number one Putri, as well as the first cover appearance of the Teen Lantern. In addition to that, I also grabbed the Jorge Jimenez, I'm sorry, his name is, Jorge Jimenez. This was the, that meme that came out where the boyfriend got caught looking at the girl. So this was kind of like another take of it, like an homage to it. Thought that was pretty cool. So I picked these both up on Midtown. This one got hot because this was the first cover reincarnation of Superboy. Connor Kent, he's been dead, since, what was it, Infinite Crisis, I believe, is when he fought Superboy Prime. So yeah, getting into the story itself, man, I really enjoyed the story. There was not too much explanation as to why, these superheroes were kind of showing up like in the middle of nowhere. You have Tim Drake, who is Robin, and no real explanation as to why he's even wearing that Robin outfit, right now. But, so, no real background explanation, but, good to see the team back together again, and, really look forward to this title overall. The artwork was kind of hit or miss for me. At times, like on this one page, it was pretty well done, but other times it just was not, man. It seemed like kind of rushed and just did not really flow well at all times. Great panel here. So, man, artwork overall, maybe like a 3.25. Storyline, maybe about a 4. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. Picked up just a cover grab for me. I'm not reading Green Arrow, but this was a Neil Adams cover. Thought this was pretty cool. Pencils only, eye-catching, so I picked it up. Picked up, I'm not reading Batman on a floppy basis, but picked up, this was the Mr. Pig, like introduction of Mr. Pig to my knowledge, and cover of Mr. Pig. So I picked up a few of the Frank Millers as well. So I was going to bag and board these because I don't read these, but man, I thought the artwork in here by Gerards, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, was, man, pretty striking, man, pretty phenomenal to go along this one story one shot here. So I thought this was going to be like a story arc about Mr. Pig, and I won't tell you what happens here, but somewhat of a dream sequence. I think Batman here is drugged, or you may think he's drugged at first. This may be a dream. I won't give it away, but man, very intriguing. I really enjoyed reading just this one shot. And, I really don't read Batman on a monthly basis just because I feel there's not enough storyline, which is why I pick it up and trade. But, man, this was a pretty cool one shot in my opinion. So I highly suggest this one to, if you find it on the shelf, pick it up, man, read through it. I liked it. So yeah, Batman number 62. Picked up one more DC, Adventures in Supersons. Love Damian Wayne and I love Jonathan Kent, man. So these two together are just phenomenal, man. Again, I always mention the banter between the two, and man, that is just what I enjoy about this this title, man. The dialogue is just hilarious, man. The way they treat each other, and they're absolute best friends at the end of the day. Like even though they sit there and like taunt each other. So it's pretty hilarious. It always reminds me of my best friends kind of growing up. So yeah, Supersons, enjoy it. So this was halfway through this 12-issue miniseries here. So yeah, Adventures of Supersons. Moving on to the Marvel side, got quite a few cover grabs. So this was one of the incentive variants this was a game variant. For the Friendly Neighborhood SpiderMan, this one's going for about $12, listed at Midtown. Pretty cool, happy to pick it up. I did not read or flip through this one, guys. So y'all tell me if this was a good read or not. I'll go back for the cover A. few more cover grabs. I grabbed the movie incentive, and this one's going for the Captain Marvel. This one's going listed for $15 online, and this other one by Lauren Tsai, I believe is how you pronounce your last name. Another incentive variant going for about $12 online, listed at Midtown. So yeah, able to grab both of these for a cover price at both my LCSs. So always happy to grab those. Looking forward to this movie. I did actually read through this one. I didn't want to kind of flip through it because these are incentives. But pretty cool story, you know. I'm not too big of a Captain Marvel fan. You know, I actually enjoy Kamala Khan more than Captain Marvel. But really looking forward to this movie here, you know, coming out March 8th, man. Really am. So yeah. Domino number 10. Another character that I was never really into too much in the past. You know, I always enjoyed Longshot. And it's funny that Longshot got an appearance here in this one title. So Gail Simone's take on Domino, really enjoyed so far. Again, I've never been a Domino fan, but man, Gail Simone really did it for me here, man. I don't know what it was, but I've really, you know, fallen in tune with Domino. Happy to see Longshot, man. I've not seen him in a comic in forever, and he used to be one of my favorites, man, by far. So yeah, they actually only have one more issue at issue number 11. They're done with the series. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. Domino, try to check this one out in trade. Star Wars. Always a Star Wars fan. Number 59, man, all the way through a lot of story arcs. So some of these story arcs are a little bit, some are action-packed, others are not. You know, some are drama-based. This one here, a little bit slower. They're trapped on a planet. You know, apparently this planet has no sort of spaceships to get off, but they were hunted down by the stormtrooper, like special force unit who has actually tracked them down. Let me get a quick picture of these guys. And man, these guys are pretty badass where they are landing here. But yeah, they've shown them in the past, you know, quite a few times. This is the Scar Squadron, and this main leader actually carries a lightsaber. And you'll see here this next issue, Luke actually gets to fight this guy. So lightsaber to lightsaber battle, man. We see who wins. So yeah, Star Wars number 59. Uncanny X-Men. This is number 9, the weekly based series, you know, so doing pretty well overall in the storyline, you know, even though it's week to week. The artwork is a little bit lacking, you know, it's decent, it's mediocre, but just, you know, it could be a little bit better. I would give this maybe just like a 2.75 out of 5, but I do enjoy the storyline overall. So X-Men, Legion, we have some of the various, you know, another Horseman, another vision, another take of them. But yeah, love the fighting, man. This one's pretty action-packed. So love the X-Men, and I really enjoy this this kickoff that they have rebooted this Uncanny X-Men series so far. So yeah, I'm not disappointed. Yet another comic I am not disappointed in. So yeah, Web of Venom, man, great stuff. So this was Unleashed. I was able to pick up the cover B as well. I noticed this one sold out. So overall, you have the Venom symbiote after he fought Null and the dragon. His voice, like the sentient being that the symbiote was, disappeared. What was left was kind of like the bestial, you know, this dog form. You know, he can't talk anymore, but he's there to protect his master, as a symbiote always did before. So yeah, pretty cool. So this one, as it's the title, Unleashed, the dog goes on this little mission and by himself, and you see some carnage action kind of happening in the background, kind of building up this overall storyline we're about to get into here a little bit more down the road with Venom. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. This was a pretty cool one. So yeah, if you enjoy Venom, make sure you're picking up the Web of Venom as well. So yeah, Web of Venom Unleashed number 1. Star Wars Jango Fett. So was always a Boba Fett type of fan. And of course, Jango Fett is the father, or the original clone of, or the original that made the clones of the clone army, including Boba Fett, who he raised as his son. So notice this design variant was sold out, so I picked up just one more for a speculation box. This one-off storyline, if you are a Jango Fett or Boba Fett fan, you must pick this one up. This was more of a learning experience for Jango Fett as he was being mentored by his father. And you know what his father is thinking about on these missions, man, pretty cool stuff, man. I loved how his, as Jango Fett walked up with Boba Fett, this guy's like, oh my gosh, something's following you. And not realizing it was like a small human and it was his son, man. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, if you're a Boba Fett fan, definitely check out this Jango Fett #1. The Black Order. Yet another team that, you know, kind of came out when I was not reading comics, and the movie is what actually introduced me to this group, and I went back to try to get the first introductions, first appearances, things of that nature, but really fell in love with these guys, man. They're complete badasses, man. Love these guys. So yeah, mission to go get, unclear exactly what their mission is by the Grand Master, but along the way they run into like another powerful weapon. And what they're planning on doing going forward is unknown, but a surprise guest appearance by Rick Ryder, the original Nova here. So yeah, won't give away what happens there, but very enjoyable storyline, man. I think doing it justice for, you know, some super villains I just got into. X-23. Always look forward to Laura Kenney, man, every time in Honey Badger. I look forward to Honey Badger's one-liners like non-stop. So yeah, enjoy the artwork as well as the storyline in here. You have yet another clone type of storyline. It's a clone of Laura Kenney yet again, just like Honey Badger, except this clone's a little bit different. Apparently this clone does not have a healing factor and is more cyborg than mutant. So a little bit interesting, and this one kind of gives a little bit more of her origin and who she is. But yeah, really enjoy the X-23 title overall. Love Laura Kenney. Avengers #12. So I was also able to pick up one of the cover B, the Phil Noto covers. Man, I thought that was pretty striking myself. I noticed that this one sold out as well. So happy to pick up at least one off the rack that was in perfect condition. So yeah, Avengers #12. So this one kind of is really centered around Black Panther. He's a current leader of the Avengers right now, and this is really his vision for the Avengers and how they're going to be successful. The way they're going to be successful is a support team. So this is Black Panther kind of going around selecting the support team, who these members are going to be, and how they're going to be supporting the global Avenger effort, you know, going forward. We'll give away, there are some vampires that start showing up in this storyline. Morbius is shown. There's one more vampire who's shown on the very last page. I won't give it away, but they've been kind of talking about him for a while. So yeah, really happy to see that vampire kind of be folded into the Avengers storyline. So yeah, pick it up. Look at that last page, guys. All right, Criminal. Moving on to Image. Another title by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This was a team who actually did Killer Be Killed. I fell in love with that Killer Be Killed title. There's nothing else I had ever read by these two guys in the past. So picking this up on the day it came out yesterday, I find out that there was actually, this is like volume 2. There was another volume that came out a couple years ago. I had no clue about that. Come to find out, what the store owner had said was that was somewhat of an episodic type of series. Each individual one was kind of like Blackwater 2, where it's totally irrelevant, one series to the next. So you did not have to read that. But starting off in this one title, man, loved it, man. Totally fell in love with it. This may have been my most favorite read of the week, actually. Older gentleman, you find out he's like an old mob boss or old crime heist type of guy. You have a kid who comes in. At first you think it's his grandchild, because that's what this older guy is calling him, but come to find out this little kid is there to steal some jewelry. And this jewelry is very famous jewelry that this guy stole back in the day, at the peak of his crime days. So fast forward, these kids stole this necklace in order to post bail for their father. So along the way, in order to get bail for the father, he goes to a pawn shop and it gets out that, oh, this is where this necklace came from. So this mob boss, once the father comes out, is on this father to come up with $25,000 for retribution for stealing from the mob boss, or else this guy's going to kick his son's face in who stole the necklace. So it's on this guy, you know, this guy who just came out of jail. This guy's a complete loser. He's a con artist. He has to come up with $25,000 in order to save his son. So very intriguing, man. I fell in love with the storyline like right off the bat. If it intrigued you, check it out. Criminal number 1, man. I think this may have been my favorite read of the week. Curse Words. Yet another magic storyline, man. I usually stay away from magic, but I've been all over magic here lately. I don't know why, but man, falling in love with it. A lot of this goes back to Margaret. This is like the love child. They really have not explained, is she like a spell or an actual physical child that, you know, got changed by a spell? They have not really explained that yet, but pretty funny because she's been calling this guy, you know, and kind of like video chatting or telephone chatting, and this guy finally meets her and finds out that she's a koala. I mean, I thought that was pretty funny how they kind of get through that situation. But yeah, some pretty good humor in here from time to time, but love the storyline. Curse Words. Cemetery Beach number 5. This title is like straight up action packed all the way through. So you have like a dystopian type of Earth that is in a parallel universe that got kind of separated from Earth, but these are all Earthlings. So because they were separated for so long, they started their own civilization. We merge back together, we send some troops in, they get planted in the very middle of the city, and they get they're trying to get captured by the civilians, and so it's escape all the way to Cemetery Beach. So they're trying to make it all the way to the coastline, and it's like straight up action packed. They're being chased all the way through. It's like that very final scene, like in any of the Fast and Furious type of movies. The very last chase scene is like action packed all the way through. Like this is what this entire title is like. So yeah, really enjoy this one. If you have not been picking it up, definitely check this out when it hits trade. Cemetery Beach number 5. Die. I was a Dungeons and Dragons player when I was growing up, man. Love this stuff. Later went on towards a video game, you know, the RPG type of video games instead of doing, you know, the racing and the dice and everything else. But man, really grew up in this world. So man, really appreciate, you know, everything they kind of do, discuss, you know, talk about the teammates, things of that nature, the group setting. Love it. So overall, you had a team of kids go into a magical realm when they started this game. One of the kids got left behind. One of the evil guys kind of kept him back behind. He stayed in there for 40 years while all the other kids came out like 2 years later. They grew up. They had their own lives. The kid came back and pulled them back into this world and forced them to play another game. So this guy clearly went crazy, and they're kind of playing the game to get to the end to then confront their friend one more time. You know, I have a feeling they're going to try to, you know, they're going to have to kill him or something of that nature. But man, love this so far. I love the overall concept and the character development that they're doing for each one, you know, thus far. Really enjoy this one. If you were a RPG player back in the day, definitely check this out. Die number 2. Freeze number 2, another one by Image. Freeze number 1 was one of my most all-time favorite reads for that week. I love the any type of time loop, type of parallel universe, you know, Back to the Future type of storyline. So I like the scientific, you know, side of freeze. You know, why did things freeze? Why were certain people only allowed to unfreeze? You know, how does that work? Issue number 1 copy. Issue number 2 went back towards they are in a dystopian world. There's hardly any humans there. The humans they selected to unfreeze, they're living here. The ones that they selected to unfreeze to live in this community were, you know, scientists, people who could give back to the community to help grow. Well, they didn't really do any background checks or anything else. Lo and behold, there was a murder. So now becomes this, you know, civilians or this community these are the only humans who are unfrozen. They have to try to, you know, live, get along, and there's a murder. You know, what do they do at this point forward? So, you know, we totally got out of the scientific time loop type of issue and totally into like a dystopian type of community. I'm not totally in line with that, not totally in tune with that. So that's why this issue number 2 kind of like went down on my ranking list for the freeze. Really enjoyed number 1, issue 2, I'm on the fence. I'll see what number 3 is about, but man, this took like a little bit of a bad turn for me. Got one from Action Lab, Null Fairies. So I noticed this one sold out as well. So I went ahead and picked up cover A, cover B, and cover C. I think I had a couple of cover C's from Midtown as well, at least one. So a couple from Action Lab I've really enjoyed, some I have not. Kind of hit or miss for Action Lab for me, personally. This one was a complete miss. So these are fairies that live alongside the humans. They're extremely small, kind of like a Tinkerbell type of fairy. And they have their own, civilization. They have their own villages in the forest where they live. There's a lot of battling. There's a lot of magic that's going on. So overall, the artwork, man, subpar. I give this one maybe a 2 out of 5. Character development I thought was poor. Overall storyline was really cluttered and did not flow at all. Man, I will not be picking up number 2. Like all 3 copies will be going into my spec box. But yeah, storyline 2 out of 5, artwork 2 out of 5. Man, complete skip for me. I can't believe this actually sold out. Surprise to me, but yeah, this is going all in my spec box. Alien 3. So this may have been my second most favorite read of the week. So Alien 3 overall was the original storyline of the movie script. They then changed it for the movie Alien 3 that we have today. But this was the original storyline. Man, this is what it should have been. This was great stuff so far. If you are a true Alien fan, you like the Alien, folklore and how the aliens came to be, the evolution of the aliens, and how the humans tried to weaponize, this alien to use against other, humans. If you enjoy that background story, you should love what this Alien 3 movie should have been. So yeah, if you're an Alien fan in any way, shape, or form, I highly suggest for y'all to go pick up this Alien 3. Man, very top of my list on the sci-fi right now. So yeah, Alien 3, this is number 2. So this cover, I think just because it was red, black cover, was pretty hot. So this one sold out, so I picked up just one more copy for the speculation box. Predator Hunters 2. Man, yet another, I love Aliens, I love Predator, separately. When they've been combined, it's been kind of like, okay, but I really love these two type of aliens, separate. Great storyline. You had a separate military type of a strike team. They've been hunting predators for a while. They have, all this decked out tech to try to hunt down the predators. And man, this team just gets decimated by this one predator, man. So this is like the final issue. You find out if the predator lives or dies. You probably figure that one out. But man, this was a pretty good slaughter, like all the way through, man. I really enjoyed this title. The original Hunters was pretty good. This Hunters 2 was equally as good. So yeah, if you're a Predator fan, definitely check this one out in trade. One more for y'all this week from Valiant Faiths Dreamside. Faith is one of those harbingers. Harbingers are just like the mutants but on the Valiant side of things. If you enjoy harbingers and you enjoy Faith, I would say check out these individual miniseries that have been coming out. Man, the good storyline, the artwork is very, very decent. However, just at 4 issues, it was a good storyline, but I really wish I would just pick this one up and trade. So that would be my recommendation for y'all. So I would say do pick it up, but I would say pick it up and trade just because it's a 4-issue series. That's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.